Welcome back to SL Chennai Speaks Out. Abhinav Bindra, Vijender Singh and Sushil Kumar are a few of the new names on the Indian sports calendars. These have come out very recently. Interestingly, these names are not associated with cricket, but with shooting, boxing and wrestling respectively. But will these names still be as interesting to us after 6 months? And given that India is a cricket-crazy nation, can they actually interest the marketers? Let's listen into a representative from a big advertising company.
The way I look at it is clients are obsessed with cricket, as the whole country is, simply because I think cricket gives them tremendous exposure. Okay, it costs. Okay, cricket doesn't come cheap, but they get tremendous ROI in cricket. The flip side of this is that no other sport in this country is promoted as well as cricket. And that's the tragedy of it all. If you take hockey, which is supposed to be a national game, it's not promoted. Football is just about, at the fringes. So to be fair to clients, I don't think they're rejecting other sports. Other sports are simply not well packaged. They're not well marketed. They don't afford great visibility opportunities, right? So, and they are extremely niche in this country. So really it's the only sport which is available, which gives you tremendous amount of coverage, is cricket. Yeah, and I don't blame the media there. I think media has done a terrific job of packaging the sport beautifully. Look at IPL. IPL has taken cricket from a game to entertainment. And it's apart from the cricket, there's so many interesting things happening on the ground. There's music, there are the cheerleaders. There's a lot of fun. And so that has also brought in a lot of advertising interest. So unfortunately, or fortunately, as you must say, cricket is only getting stronger as a programming option. Clients are willing to pay good money for it. They realize that they have to invest a lot of money. And do we have another sport to push in the country? Not really. We have, as an agency, we have from time to time try to push, the football, because I think the English Premier League is it's beautifully packaged, but it unfortunately just doesn't have the numbers in the country. We try to push Formula 1. Again, great sport, beautifully packaged, but very small fan following. So unless these sports reach a certain threshold level, in terms of viewership, it is going to be very difficult for us as agencies to push them, or for clients as clients, because it's money that they need to put behind to actually buy the sport, because the return on investment is simply not there. Cricket obsessed and nothing else. Okay, way of life, right?
In the Indian Union budget, 0.07% is allotted for sports. But the BCCI is the richest cricket board in the world. So, is it cricket played really because it's a money spinner? Mr. Mahindra, you tell us.
It is popular. There is so much of, as I said, charisma. There's so much of fun. People are getting entertained. Now you have the evening cricket, novel ideas, new ideas brought out by the board, and the IPL has come. There's so much of beautiful interest in the evening. You people have got time for that. Well, I don't think people should blame cricket. It's other sport. Have you brought up challenging players? Have we reached that level? I think football is a very popular game in India. We watch more football than cricket or tennis all night to see the the English league or Italian football or whatever. Well, people spend time. I think during the World Cup football there is so much craze in the country. Well, it's a question of sponsoring, getting the game right, getting the level right, and why don't we try to copy what the IPL is doing in other games?
Ram, then you tell us, do you think that if other sports did it the way cricket does, do you think that they would take off?
I would agree, because cricket administration has a long and distinguished history in India. We played cricket because there was a structure. We played school cricket, university cricket. 30,000, 40,000 people paid money to watch us play a Ranji Trophy match. Today nobody watches. Today you're only watching international cricket. You're watching a spectacle. When we were young, people came to watch us play. We went and watched a league match, a local league match, thousands of us would watch a game. Today there is no support for the game at that level. Who plays football? You tell me. He says people watch football all night. Do they play football? No. We have armchair sportsmen. Thousands and lakhs of kids are playing cricket. Unless more and more people play the game, you can't do anything with that sport.
Right. Shihan Hussaini, let me ask you, is it a question of an icon?
When we have a country which is watching football, everybody watches football, can anybody tell me the name of one popular footballer? I don't know the name of any popular footballer. It is, I do not know, in India, in the state. Can you tell me a name in the state? Why not? You live in Tamil Nadu. Tell me an important footballer in the state.
Sir, can I go to
Because the media does not promote iconism in any other game.
If cricket is a sport that unites the country, the media is the one that divides the nation. What you want is national pride, like archery, like karate, like hockey. Promote hockey. We had the Premier Hockey League that was started 2 years back. But what we need today, how many people in this audience knows that Baichung Bhutia is the god of Indian football, or I am Vijayan, who's from Kerala, is the god of Indian football?
Yeah, but Shihan Hussaini says that it's the media who haven't made that icon.
I must speak this. I must say this because trust me, in the recent 1 month, there was an incident which happened in Tamil Nadu, which was bashed by the media right, left and center. There was a child who was trained for about 4 or 5 years to drive a car. And he drove the car and he did not drive at 120 miles per hour. I know the entire history. He drove it hardly about 50 kilometers. The media said a child drives at 120 kilometers per hour. The mother should be penalized. The father should be penalized. The school should be penalized. Can you tell me that another Michael Schumacher can come in this country when he becomes of a proper age to drive a car at 18? Today we have
Mr. Hussaini, right? So, sir, I would like to remind you of one thing. You became popular to me when you acted in a movie, and that is also your media. Okay? I mean, let me just
when we are talking about media, we're not talking about movies.
Yeah, I mean, that is also another form of
entertainment media.
Okay.
We're talking about the press, the
Exactly.
television.
Okay, let me come later. After that, you became popular when the print media put posters of you training people on karate. Hats off to you on all those.
Because of my posters, not because of the media.
I mean, fine, that's a, then you should that was print media. Then you shouldn't say that is movie media, this is print media. No, I am pointing out to your positives, sir. Here I am pointing out to your positives. I had a friend from Madurai who mentioned your name.
Boss,
okay?
they will mention.
So, you promoted it very well, sir. You promoted it very well. My only point is, we should not put down cricket. I agree to that point. We should also promote the way you did your promotion, but not by breaking your hand in the road and all. I really feel sorry for that.
Sir, can you give the mic to Sheila, please? I'd like to hear from her. She has something to say.
So rather than playing football with the media and bashing them, why don't we blame it on the government who has got the control, and they are not allotting proper funds or basic infrastructure for, you have a cricketer who just, you have a cricketer, no, you have a cricketer who plays only for 2 years or 3 years and he gets a Padma Shri. Whereas you have players who play for years alone, they are not recognized at all. Whereas you have a KPS Gill who is only to bring the hockey players and throw them out, Dhanraj Pillai and Turkey Brothers, after winning a very prestigious hockey match.
So let me ask Anand. Anand, can you and I produce these icons that Hussaini is talking about?
Point is, just to point out a simple fact. Now that lady, she mentioned about India winning something. So that reflects the kind of involvement. You should have said which tournament?
Champions Trophy.
No, it's
India
Asian
won.
Games.
India won.
Asian Games.
Right.
Now that reflects, no, we have never won, we have won only a bronze in Champions Trophy. That was back in '82. I've been covering hockey for the last 30 years. So please. So that reflects the kind of involvement. Okay, that is one side. Number two is, I have worked closely with quite a few federations. My passion was that every sport should come up. It's not just cricket. And I keep telling these guys, for heaven's sake, stop pointing fingers at everyone else except yourself. Now, 2 weeks ago, I just come back from Hyderabad, where I went for the World Snooker Championship. I don't know how many of you are even aware that we had a World Snooker Championship. You had Geet Sethi, we had Pankaj Advani, all these guys playing. I met a lot of the IT crowd in Hyderabad because the event was held in the high-tech city at Novotel Hotel or whatever. None of those guys had a clue that that event is taking place. Only when they read in the papers, and mind you, that tournament got a huge coverage in virtually every newspaper, and I did TV commentary, plus I was writing for various papers. When these youngsters came, when I started talking to them, they said, sir, we didn't even know this tournament was happening.
So, Anand,
So what I'm saying is, you blame the federation officials, for heaven's sake. Don't blame the game.
but Anand,
Okay.
can I interrupt you here? You say it was in the newspapers, it was on the television, you yourself were doing a commentary. So despite all that, they didn't know. So what difference does it make then? What are we talking about? Why do we say that it's the media?
The point, Jennifer, is, I'm sorry to say, but
Please.
9 out of 10 federation officials, they're not clued into reality. They all think you blame cricket, you blame media, you blame X, you blame Y. That's it. What are they doing?
We all know that, there are those few elements in the federation who know nothing about them. I am the federation. I am the General Secretary of Tamil Nadu Archery Association, and I've done everything possible. Tell me, sir, how do I go? But how do I get the media attention unless and until I say I'm going to take an arrow and shoot my own self?
See, everyone here wants India to be a superpower by 2020. So I feel that equally as good as we are economically by then, even sports is an important sector for that. And I feel the blame must mainly be only on the government. And there must be some sort of way where we fix the responsibility and accountability of the government. And instead of promoting things like special economic zones, why don't you have sports development zones or any PPP models, that is private public partnership, to develop sports also.
Right.
So
Let
even
me hear from
corporates should play
somebody
an
who's
important
involved
role.
with hockey. Sir, can you give me an opinion?
So like before that, we should know only one thing. How many people knows about PHL? We talk about whether IPL will happen or not, this all crisis is going. But PHL is not conducted so far. What is the reason? Because,
Do you know the
okay.
reason why? Do you know the reason why?
Yes.
She spoke about Mr. KPS Gill.
Yes.
Please go and ask him.
Oh, okay.
No. That's
So
precisely the
politics
point.
then.
Do we have a hockey federation now? For Christ's sake, do we have a hockey
there's-
federation now?
But Anand, there is a politics.
And I was
Anand,
there last year in Santiago, Chile,
Okay.
to witness history being made, where Indian hockey for the first time in 80 years didn't even qualify for the Olympics. How I should be feeling? I've been writing about this game for the last 30 years, and for what? I came back home and I said, Anand, what are you doing? I wrote this 20 years ago in 1986. I was there in London where we finished last, and 20 years later I'm writing the same thing. So what development are we talking about?
we'll take a very, very short break now, because some say that cricket lovers are actually brainwashed into watching the game, so that sponsors can earn all those millions. Is that true? You'll need to wait for us to come back after a very short break.